Glenn Hegar has been the state's controller for more than 10 years. Now he's leaving that job behind for a new challenge. Next week, Hegar will become Chancellor of the Texas A&M University system. And he's here now with us to talk about that task. Thank you for joining us.
Good to be with you today.
So the leadership change at A&M has been months in the making. What have you been doing to prepare for that transition?
Yeah, great question. Current Chancellor John Sharp and his team have been fantastic. I've been in College Station usually a couple days every week. I've probably been spending more time on that job than I have my current role. And so essentially just visiting with staff, traveling our campuses across the state of Texas, trying to learn and ramp up engaging in this transition to make sure I have my team in place and making sure that it's just another day at the office come July 1 when we make the transition.
What do you see as some of the key challenges and opportunities with the Texas A&M system? What are your goals?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one of the biggest things that we have to kind of keep first and foremost, no matter what, is that our job is the students that attend Texas A&M University system across our 12 campuses across the state of Texas, our 8 state agencies that serve the people of the state of Texas every single day in some capacity throughout 250. All of our counties we have a presence in across the state of Texas. So first and foremost are our students, making sure that we equip them with the tools necessary to be a significant contributor to the Texas economy, to create an economic opportunity for themselves, for their families, for the communities, and for the state of Texas. Texas has grown immensely as a state in economic opportunities in the last decade, and it will continue throughout the next decade. So the future is really bright for the state and the future for the A&M system to be a contributor for those students and economic opportunities with new cutting edge technology, capabilities, and providing some of that lead research in making sure that Texas is at the forefront of the economy of tomorrow is the goals that we have in front of us.
Affordability is obviously a big challenge everywhere. Many Texans seeking higher education are dealing with it. It's driving some people to forego college altogether. What would you like to see done at A&M to make college more affordable there?
Yeah, that's great. I appreciate that question because again, those students are the first and foremost, our 170,000 students across this system and all the universities. And so making sure that one, we maintain those costs and try to make ability for them to have more affordability. As we know, higher education has become less affordable, especially with all the cost drivers of inflation. Those have made it significantly harder. And so every single way that we can make affordability better for our students is a way that we can help them make sure they don't have debt, they have an opportunity in the beginning when they get a job, and making sure just that they enter college, they graduate college, have the affordability, and also being able to obtain a job when they get out of school is all at the forefront. So I've been traveling across our campuses and seeing some of the unique things that we're doing in each community and how we can leverage that across the system.
I want to switch gears now to the job that you are leaving. You just certified the state budget. There seems to be a lot of uncertainty with the economy right now, like things like war and tariffs. As you leave, any concern about the state's economic outlook?
You know, the first and foremost to realize is the state's foundation is a very strong foundation in the state of Texas. You know, it's hard to imagine that people, when I tell them this number, they kind of take a step back, that Texas, if we were our own nation, just to make a point, we'd be the 8th largest economy in the world. And 10 years ago, when I got into this role, we were the 12th largest economy. And so the point is the foundation of the economy is strong. There are always significant global disruptions, uncertainties, but one and foremost that I continue to say is that foundation is strong. And even though there's so many things that we don't know that's happening around the world and how that will push or pull the state economy, the foundation is strong. The direction of the Texas economy is strong. We have people that continue to move here every day. We have businesses that want to set up shop, businesses that want to move here. And so the trajectory is really strong, even though we don't know what's on the horizon globally today, tomorrow, and especially as we look off into the next year.
As we mentioned, you've been controller for more than 10 years now. What do you consider your important accomplishments?
Yeah, I think first and foremost is just driving a culture at the agency of customer service. Our job is the people of the state of Texas, serving them, the taxpayers of the state of Texas, making sure that that culture in that agency, when someone reaches out to us for customer assistance, for help, that we are doing everything that we can and using all modes of communication to make it easier for them. Because the less time people are spending trying to figure out how do they set up a business, how do they get their taxes filed, those are things they can be doing to make real life impacts for their employees, for their coworkers, and making sure they're growing the state economy rather than worrying about how do I do this and how do I do that. So that culture of customer service is first and foremost.
Last week, we spoke to soon-to-be acting controller Kelly Hancock. What advice do you have for him?
Yeah, Kelly has been a great member of the legislature. He's a businessman, strong belief on his family. So he's got his values in place. And I think Kelly's going to do a really good job. He's been working really hard in the last week since he was sworn in as deputy controller. And I know that he'll be ready come next week to take on the reins of this agency and continue to make sure that this agency is at the forefront in customer service, making sure that we are using cutting edge capabilities, technologies, and that he's making sure that he guides the legislature through what those uncertainties that we were just talking about that may be on the horizon. So I got absolute faith in the ability that he will in the coming year.
Well, let's settle the argument. Is it controller or comptroller?
Yeah, that's a great question. If you asked one of my deputies many years ago, he was asked that question when he went to the legislature, and he said, "Let me explain this. I used to work for Comptroller Susan Combs, and I now work for Controller Glenn Hegar. It's however the boss says it." So we'll see what Hancock says come next Tuesday if he changes it from Controller to Comptroller, or if he stays with the correct pronunciation, which is Controller of Public Accounts.
All right. Well, controller Glenn Hegar, soon to be Texas A&M System Chancellor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Always good to be with you.